Good morning everyone, happy Saturday. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, it's just gonna be like a bookish weekend in my life sort of vlog. So it's really just a weekend in my life, but my life really does revolve around books. So it's a bookish weekend. I'm just gonna make myself a cup of coffee. I'm gonna be starting a new book today, which I love doing. I don't know why, like just the feeling of going to my TBR card, picking out a new book. Love it. Yeah, just gonna do some reading, and then my partner and I are gonna go out for like a nice dinner tonight, and then we've got a concert afterwards. It's Angus and Julia Stone, and it's gonna be like quite an intimate sort of concert. Yeah, it's called like the living room session, so it just sort of seems like you're like in their living room. I'm very excited. This is a perfect Saturday. Gonna have coffee, do some reading, go out for a nice dinner, go to a concert. Like that is just sensational. So guys, I've got a new mug to use, which I just picked up yesterday. Look at this little bow. I was in this sort of like stationery shop with my best friend. We were buying some pens, and they had like some mugs on display, and I saw the cutest mug ever, and it was only $10, like 10 New Zealand dollars, which is like $6 US, 5 British pounds, something like that. Just wait guys. Oh, it's so cute. Guys, like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm obsessed. If you don't know, I love to collect mugs, and I just love having like a unique sort of mug collection. I don't want any of my mugs to match. I want them to all have like a different vibe, and you sort of just choose your mug that day depending on what kind of vibe you're in. I desperately need a coffee because I stayed up pretty late editing one of my videos. I was up until like 1:30. And it was my July wrap up. So by the time you see this video, that video would have already been out for like a week. Anyways, let's make some coffee, pick out a new book to read, and yeah. She said, hello, mister. She said, I love this song so much, so much. Guys, I honestly just cannot get over this. Okay besties, time to pick out our new book. I don't really know what I'm in the mood for, to be honest. I don't know if you can see, it's very bright. But at the top here is my TBR for August. So I've got 10 books on here, and normally I read about 8 books a month. So I don't have to read all 10 books, but it just gives me like some extra options, if you know what I'm saying. So, I tried to start this the other day. Like I read just one page of it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this just yet. It is a sci-fi, which I do really want to get to, but I just don't feel like it at the minute. Now, we could do Chain of Iron because I'm just obsessed with this series, but I do think I'm gonna save this. I could potentially do like a contemporary romance, something kind of just easy to read, doesn't require a lot of brain cells. I do think that's the kind of book I probably need, just because I am very tired. Like I said, I stayed up pretty late editing, and yeah, I don't know if my brain is working the way that it should be at the minute. We could either do Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I really don't know too much about this book, to be honest. I think it's like a second chance romance, or like a childhood friends to lovers romance. I think they were like friends when they were like 15, like really, really good friends. I think they were actually neighbors, and then they don't see each other for like 10, 11 years or something like that. And then they run into each other again. And I think it's quite sweet because they were like childhood friends. I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that this is a lot of people's like favorite book. It's a very OG sort of book talk book, and contemporary romances have been super hit or miss for me. Like, I read a few that I loved. I read The 7-Year Slip, I read Archer's Voice, loved that. And I've also read a few that I did not really enjoy. So it's just a very hit or miss sort of genre for me. So we'll see. I do have a good feeling about this one. Also, I just love the book cover. I think it's so cute. And we could also do Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I just know everyone says she has like the best writing. She'll make you laugh, she'll make you cry. I have heard she's got a lot of depth to her story, so it's not one of those sort of like shallow, surface level kind of contemporary romance, because I don't like that. I just need some depth to it, and just for it to feel like real. Do you know what I mean? I could also do one for my enemy. I'm really in the mood for this. The thing is, Olivia Blake writes in a way where I feel like I do need some brain cells, because I think she writes so poetically and so beautifully, and it's the kind of writing that you like really want to properly read. It is like a Romeo and Juliet sort of reimagination, but like set in a fantasy world with two rival witch families. And I really love the way Olivia Blake writes, so I don't know. We do have ninth house. I'm gonna save this for when it's raining. I want like a dark, gloomy, rainy day for reading this, just because I feel like that perfectly fits the dark academia vibe. So not this just yet. I think I'm gonna do Love and Other Words. I don't know why I feel drawn to it, so I'm just gonna trust my gut and we'll go with this. I definitely have like a straight up addiction to coffee. I just love it. It's not even the caffeine, like I just love the flavor of it. It's just so good. I just feel like coffee is one of life's most simple yet greatest pleasures. Like it's just, the joy it brings me, unbelievable. Right guys, we've picked up our book. We're gonna be reading Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I love how floppy this book is. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's do some reading. One thing that I really like that this book does, which I always really enjoy in books, is it flips from like the then to the now. I don't really know why, but I always seem to sort of enjoy books that kind of have that. Hi guys, so reading update. I'm now on page 62 of Love and Other Words, and I am loving it. Like really loving it. I've already really connected with the main character, like the girl. I'm really loving the story so far. Again, I'm only like 60 pages in, and I think it's like 400 pages, so there's still a lot more to go. I went to the gym, I just showered, washed my hair, and now I need to get ready because Jamie and I are going out for dinner, then we've got a concert, and I've got like an hour to get ready, but I still have to dry my hair. Like it's still very wet, and do my makeup and get dressed. So I'll do that now, and then we'll do some more reading of this tomorrow. We gon' fight. I got it right to wanna go and never talk to me no more. Girls before you must have been just stay true. I'm not wearing anything like super special, but sometimes, you know, just a long black sleeve tight top with some gold jewelry. Best combo. Okay guys, I am absolutely ravenous. Ravenous. I cannot wait to eat all the food. Hello everyone, so reading update. I am now on page 109 of Love in Other Words, and I am adoring it. I'm really loving this book. I'm loving, I think I've already said this, but I'm loving the sort of like jump in perspectives from the then and the now. So the two main characters were like childhood best friends, and first of all, I just love when it jumps to like the then perspective because they were so cute as children. Like I love the conversations they have when they're like around 12, 13. I think just because the authors really captured how 13-year-olds kind of communicate within friendship. Like I just thought it was really sweet. And what's kind of happened is the two main characters, they lost touch. Well, actually the main girl sort of just ghosted the main guy, and they haven't spoken in like 11 years. They bump into each other and they're sort of just rekindling their relationship slash friendship now. We also haven't learned why she's ghosted him. Like that still remains completely mysterious to us at the minute. I'm curious to see like why it happened, why they fell apart, and why it was just so abrupt. I also did not realize that Christina Lauren is two people. Two people. I'm gonna go read my book at the secondhand bookshop. There's a really cute secondhand bookshop, like a 15-minute walk from where I live, and they serve coffee there and you can read there. It's like a very cozy, sort of bookish environment, and I'm kind of in the mood to go read in a cute place like that. I'll go there, get a coffee, do some reading there, and I will have a little browse. I don't think I'll buy anything unless I see something that genuinely interests me, something that's actually on my TBR list. I'm not just gonna get a book because it looks pretty or whatever like that. So if I do see a book that's genuinely on my TBR list and it's super cheap because it's secondhand, I'll probably buy it. I was supposed to see Mum today. We were meant to hang out, but she had like a big night out with her friends, so she's a little bit tired today. So we just did a rain check and we'll hang out next weekend. So with that sort of like free time I've just been given, I'm gonna edit one of my videos because I am behind on my like YouTube editing schedule. And I hate being behind because life just gets so busy sometimes, especially when you work a full-time job and you upload like 2 videos a week like I do. Like it's quite hard sometimes to find the time to edit and stuff like that. I'm gonna go and walk to the bookshop now. Music choice for the walk, probably gonna be the Tortured Poets department because I'm still obsessed with that album. My current favorites, Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. Kate, if you're watching this, shout out to you. My best friend and I have just been over exhausting that song, like obsessed with it. We can't get over it. My other current favorite is Peter. Again, shout out to my bestie Kate. Her and I have just been obsessed with that song. I love I'm Gonna Get You Back. Like I just think that song is mwah. And I also am loving The Black Dog. And I've also been loving My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. That's so good. Right, anyways, let's go to the bookshop and have a little cozy afternoon. Hello everyone. So, a few updates. First of all, it is currently 5 p.m. And did I do any editing like I said I would? No. What did I do instead, you may ask? I laid on that couch and I had a deep slumber. That nap took me. Like I didn't take that nap, it took me. I was gone with the wind. And you know what? I'm not even mad about it because I feel very refreshed now. I feel like I definitely needed that nap. I've had a few late nights recently, like either editing or something like that, or just staying up late for some reason. And I just think my body needed to catch up on some extra sleep. So I feel very happy. I just made myself a coffee because now I'm gonna do some editing for like an hour and a half, and then Jamie and I will have some dinner and put on a show. Just wanted to say I couldn't get much footage at the secondhand bookshop just because it was very busy, and normally I don't really mind filming in public, like it doesn't really embarrass me. It was the kind of busy where like me putting up a camera will, I think, bother other people because they'll feel like they can't walk past it, and I don't want to ruin people's book browsing day. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would hate for them to be like, oh no, I can't walk that way because she's filming. Do you know what I mean? So yes, I couldn't really film anything just because there was a lot of people there today, and I just didn't want to bother them, to be honest, or just like be an inconvenience, you know? I didn't end up getting anything at the secondhand bookshop, but I did buy a book, which I will show you guys soon. I've got no self-control. The book that I picked up, I ended up buying A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. First of all, I love this cover. Like, I really love this book cover. I actually bought this book because of my sister. My sister has just moved over to Perth in Australia, and she got herself a bookshelf, and she's been having like so much fun buying books and adding them to her bookshelf. So she sent me a photo of her bookshelf, and I recognized like 99% of the books, mostly because I also have the same books on my shelf. But there was one that was sitting like this that I didn't recognize, and I zoom up and it was A Gentleman in Moscow, and I was like, ooh, what's this all about? And so I ended up buying it so that I can read it and also like talk to her about it. Do you know what I mean? I really like to talk to my sister about the books I've read, vice versa. It's just, I don't know. It's so much fun to read the same books as someone and like talk about it. You know, I love it. I really love it. Also, this book just sounds so interesting. I think it's been turned into a TV show. So this is the story of someone called Count Alexander, who is a Russian aristocrat from 1922. And I think he becomes a waiter, and then he is sentenced to house arrest, and he lives 32 years of his life in this attic. So it says, in 1922, in the wake of the Russian Revolution, Rostov, which is our main guy, originally a gentleman from Russia's something province, I don't know how to say it, is deemed a threat to the Communist Party and is sentenced to house arrest at the hotel where he has been living in luxury. What saves Rostov from being executed is a single poem that is published in 1913. And something that really interested me is on the back of it, it says, "Can a life without luxury be the richest of all?" So obviously we're sort of sticking with this guy throughout his 32 years living in his confined space. I don't know why, I've got a very good feeling about this book. My sister definitely loves her historical fiction. I think any book recommendation I ever got from her, a lot of it has been historical fiction, and it's something that I actually really enjoy. I haven't read many historical fictions, but every time I do read it, I really do enjoy them, and I also feel like I learn a lot from them. Obviously, while it is fiction, there are real ideas in here and, you know, discussions of history that actually took place. Also, while I was at the bookshop, I was like having a flick through and reading the first couple of pages, which is something I normally do just to get a sense if I'm gonna like this book or not. And I was like hooked from the beginning. So I am very excited to read this. And I just really love this book cover. I don't know what it is, like the black and white picture, the man looking out the balcony, the gold writing. It's also raised, which obviously you can't see, but I can feel it. I'm really excited. So I'm gonna message my sister and be like, look what I got. Sorry, I was just messaging her. I think she's gonna be very happy to know that she was my book inspiration. Although she didn't even recommend this to me. I just saw on her bookshelf and I was like, ooh. I am gonna finish my coffee and I'm going to edit my video. Well, I'm not gonna fully edit it. I'm just gonna start editing just so it's not super overwhelming. Anyways, I will speak to you guys soon. Hello besties! I feel like I have not updated you guys in a hot minute. I actually filmed the video that you're watching a week ago, but I just completely forgot to film the ending of how I felt about this book. So I will do that now. This is a book that I feel quite conflicted on rating in terms of I just don't know what to rate it. And I finished it like almost a week ago, but for some reason I still have not decided on my rating for it, and I will explain to you why. So this book flips between then and now perspectives, and I loved the then perspective. So all the perspectives in the past, loved it. And I did like the present perspectives in the beginning, but as the book went on, I really, not that I didn't enjoy them, but I was just a bit like, there's two things that happen in this book that I feel like I just kind of swept under the rug and not really fleshed out or discussed more. Can I say what they are? I'm gonna say what they are, but this is gonna include spoilers. So I'm just gonna talk about the spoilers right now. So if you haven't yet read this book, please skip to this part of the video. Let's give the people who haven't yet read it a second. My issue with this book, guys, if you have read it, my problem with it was that she was dating this guy in her present life. She's dating this guy, right? She's kind of happy in her life, living on, la la la. And then she bumps into Elliot. And she hasn't seen him since they were like 18. And so they're now both 29. They bump into each other. They hardly talk. They hardly even communicate. What if they've changed? That happens. Who I am at 18 is so different to who I am now at 27. And so there's a very high probability that you're no longer compatible with the people that you were very compatible with when you were at that age, because life changes you. So they bump into each other and they hardly communicate, they hardly talk, but suddenly they're just back together like that. She leaves her man, he leaves his girlfriend. And while I understand that they may have felt that true love, that first love at that age, I just found it so unbelievable that in their late 20s, they just both happily give up their current relationship to be together. And also, we're still in spoilers section, by the way, and also he kind of just gets like sexually assaulted towards the end, like when you get the then perspective as to why they never saw each other again, and that just completely gets swept under the rug as well. Like, I don't know, it wasn't really fleshed out. Like, is he okay? Like, what happened? I don't know. So those two things that happened really brought down the rating for me, in my opinion. I was like, I'm now gonna go back to spoiler-free zone. So welcome back to anyone who had to skip to this part of the video. Overall, I did really enjoy the story. I really, really did. Some chapters that I loved so much more than the other. And I think because this book is written by two people, I think my problem is I love one of their writing styles, but I don't like the other person's writing style. And I think that's my problem with this book, is I found myself really loving it at some points, and then at some points not really enjoying the writing. And I think that's kind of what happened in this book for me. If we're talking about the then perspective, it would be like a 4.25. But if we're gonna talk about the now perspective, I'd give that like a 3-star. So I think overall for me, this book lands on like a 3.5. I still do recommend it because I did think it was really enjoyable. I did like a lot of parts of it, but I think I am being a little bit picky here, but I don't know. I don't like how some things were just not fleshed out at all. And I know that it's a rom-com, you don't always have to flesh things out properly, but I would have liked a little bit more on some parts. Those are my overall thoughts, and you'll hear a little bit more when I do my August wrap up. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this bookish weekend in my life, and let me know if you want more. I'm happy to film this every weekend, to be honest. I love filming these. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.